Tonight, I want to share something with you, a quiet little lesson. This isn't one of those get-rich-quick schemes. No, this is more like a financial fable, something that can, gently change the way you see everything. It's a story about what money really is, and maybe more importantly, what it isn't. This was the lesson that Rich Dad taught a young boy a long, long time ago. Let's just let that sink in for a second. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. That one simple phrase, well, that's the foundation of our whole story tonight. So our story, it actually begins with a bit of a warning. It's a true story from a time of incredible wealth and ambition. And it's a cautionary tale, one that, well, it still echoes today. Okay, so picture this. It's 1923. Some of the most powerful, the wealthiest men on the planet are all gathered at a hotel in Chicago. I mean, these guys were the titans of industry, the masters of finance. But then, fast forward just 25 years, their stories, they completely fallen apart. One of them died with absolutely nothing after years of borrowing money. Others went bankrupt, some even took their own lives. A few went insane, others ended up in prison. They had made these unbelievable fortunes, but they just couldn't keep them. And that story, it leaves us with a really profound truth. The greatest wealth, the kind that actually lasts, isn't the money you have in the bank. It's the financial education you hold in your mind. Because without that knowledge, money, well, it tends to disappear.
So what is this knowledge, right? What's the secret? Well, Rich Dad taught that it all comes down to one simple rule, the first rule. In fact, he used to say it was the only rule that mattered.
Here it is. He said, the rich acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. And right there, that's the big mix-up. That's the misunderstanding that keeps so many people stuck, struggling. And to make it so simple that even a child could get it, he broke it down like this. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. That's the whole thing. It is the most important rule. And you know what? Because it's so simple, it gets overlooked all the time. You can actually see this simple rule play out in the story that money tells as it moves through our lives. It's what we call the story of cash flow. Now, for a poor person, this story is, well, it's pretty short. If you look here, you can see how the money comes in from a job, and then it flows right back out again to cover all the essentials. Rent, food, taxes. It's just a simple one-way street with nothing left at the end. For the middle class, the story gets a little more complicated. It becomes a loop. See, a salary comes in, which is great, but that money goes right out to acquire liabilities. Things like a mortgage, a car payment, credit card debt. And those liabilities, they create even more expenses. And that traps people in this cycle you see right here. They have to work harder and harder just to pay the bills for things they think are assets, but aren't. But then we get to the story of the rich. And it's a completely different picture. If you look at their cash flow, the whole process starts with their assets. We're talking real estate, stocks, things like that. These are what generate their income. And that income pays for their expenses, sure, but with plenty left over to buy even more assets. Their money is literally working for them, creating this flow that just gets stronger and stronger over time. So as you can see from these simple little pictures, cash flow really does tell the story of how a person handles their money. It's all about the direction the money is flowing. That's everything. All right, let's bring this to life with a more modern kind of story. We'll call it a modern parable. It's about a young, hardworking couple and how they end up falling into a trap without even seeing it coming. So it all starts when they both have jobs. With two incomes, they feel pretty good, like they can afford more. And what do? They buy a beautiful house, their dream home, and they believe with all their hearts that it's their greatest asset. But then comes the mortgage and the property taxes and all the new expenses. Suddenly, their liabilities column starts getting really, really heavy. And before they know it, they're trapped in what we call the rat race.
just working harder and harder to watch their money flow right back out to pay for all their debts. You know, when you put the financial statements of Poor Dad and Rich Dad right next to each other, it's like looking at two completely different life stories. On one side, you've got Poor Dad's income just getting eaten up by his expenses and this huge list of liabilities. But on the other side, there's Rich Dad. His income is flowing from his big, growing asset column, and that keeps his liabilities really small. It's so clear. One path leads to a lifetime of financial struggle, and the other, well, it leads to a life of freedom. And this all brings us to the final piece of the puzzle tonight, and it might just be the most important piece of wisdom in this whole story. It's about an ancient power that, funny enough, has nothing to do with money, but has everything to do with wealth. There's an old Japanese legend that talks about three great powers. There's the sword, which is the power of weapons. There's the jewel, which is the power of money. And then there's the mirror, which is the power of self-knowledge. And of all three, it was the mirror, self-knowledge, that was considered the most precious of all. So why is that? Why the mirror? Well, it's because most of us, we're controlled by the power of money. We get up, we go to work every single day, and we do it out of fear. Fear of not paying the bills, fear of being different, maybe fear of what other people will think. We just follow the crowd. We never stop to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, wait, does this actually make any sense? We're missing that power of self-knowledge. And so, as we bring our little story to a close, the real question isn't about anyone else. It's for you. It's an invitation for a quiet moment of reflection. If you were to draw out that diagram for your own life, what story would your cash flow be telling?
That's it for today's summary. I'm curious, which of these lessons was a game changer for you? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more book insights. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.